Hello gamers, Pet here. Welcome to Gaming Talk episode number 7. Gaming Talk, it's a show where we discuss video games in general. So don't forget to write your suggestion and your comments in the comment sections below. In this particular episode, we are going to talk about Paradox Interactive DLC model. Ooh, DLCs. I mean, you already feel your tummy hurt. I mean, when did you heard a discussion about DLCs that's positive? And in this particular situation, it's going to be a positive discussion about DLCs and why Paradox Interactive DLC model is great. And hopefully I don't sound too much like a fanboy, but this is actually a good system, and I'm actually looking forward to future DLCs that this company is going to release to those games in particular that I like. Now, Paradox Interactive is actually, a publishing company and a development company, and they are developing Europa Universalis IV, Crusader Kings 2, Hearts of Iron 4, which I want so bad, and they just published City Skylines, which is an amazing game that came out 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm not sure if they are going to apply the same model to City Skylines, since they are only the publisher and not the developer, but I do hope so. Why? Let's see exactly. But first, let's actually talk about what DLCs are. I mean, DLC stands for downloadable content. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, and the DLCs came out to power in the recent years because people kind of got good internet speed overall the world, and this is how the retail kind of got down, because it's more convenient for you to just insert a key and just download the game. And then I know that there are some of you there who, I still like my game to be in a box because I do want to feel that I own something. Kind of bullshit. I do have a game in the other room that's in a box and it has kind of a crack on the CD, and I can't really use that CD anymore. Off topic a little bit. I do understand some aspects of it when you collect stuff, but anyway, I'm way past over it. Now, the old model, when that it came out to expansions, in the past they were called expansions, and look at this, for example. I have here Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos, a game that I believe it came out in 2003 or something like that, or 2002, 2003. Anyway, it got postponed a little bit. And when that game came out, it was great. It had a campaign, it had multiplayer, and people loved it. 1 and something years later, we got Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, which is an expansion which requires to have this game. I mean, it's required to have this game in order to play this game. And if I don't remember the price back then, but usually expansions are a little bit lower priced to the base game because you do require the base game, to play. And those expansions, first of all, you kind of waited 1 or 2 years for them to come out, right? So it was a long road to wait for something. And sometimes that's the thing, you kind of know that there is going to be an expansion. Like with Diablo 3, for example, you knew that there was going to be an expansion. All you had to do is to do this, painful waiting. Now, those expansions, besides, waiting for them a long time, they improved the core game. And in this particular case with Warcraft 3, it was, a decent one. But I'm going to give you another example. Civilization 5, that game came out in 2010, and of course Civilization 5 came out after Civilization 4, which was an amazing game. And now with Civilization 5 there were some new mechanics, and those mechanics were great. I mean, hexagons, only 1 unit per hexagon, and so on. I'm going to go into details, but it was great. The thing is that we kind of felt a lot of stuff missing. We had no religion, we had no spying, and we didn't have like a lot of other stuff, right? And we kind of knew that they didn't put those in because we kind of had to wait for, the expansions were planned, So we have 2 DLCs for Civilization 5. We have Gods and Kings that came out in 2012, almost 2 years later, and we have Brave New World that came out in 2013. And if you buy these 2 DLCs, you are going to have a pretty good Civilization 5 experience. The thing is that it took us 3 years to have a complete experience, whatever complete means, right? And this is the thing, they have DLCs, but they are basically the old expansions model, like with Warcraft 3. Now, what Paradox Interactive is doing differently, they are using this DLC advantage at their advantage, basically. It's much faster to release content than with expansions, so it's much easier for them to improve their base game. And this is the thing, when Europa Universalis IV came out, the game was pretty good. I mean, the base game was good. When Crusader Kings 2 came out, the base game was very good. City Skylines just came out and the base game is really good. Not perfect, but the base game is there. Now, the main reason why I started talking about this thing in particular is that, City Skylines came out last week, and I noticed a dude on the forums that he was actually genuine. He wasn't trolling. It was like, this is another game that's going to be ruined by Paradox with their hungry DLC, and they are, Paradox is hungry, money DLC, out. And I was like, dude, what the hell? I'm excited when I hear about a new DLC for one of these games that I like. And in a way, I'm not surprised for some people thinking that. I mean, every time we hear stuff about DLCs, it's always something bad, right? So, if you look at the Europa Universalis IV, first of all, the game costs 40 euros. City Skylines in this costs 28 euros, so it's not a full price game. Keep that in mind. This is also not a full price game. But if you scroll down and you see package info, almost 100 euros. All the DLCs, 140 euros. What? Crusader Kings 2, all the DLCs, almost 200 euros. Holy shit, Paradox is a very hungry DLC company. Paradox is ruining their games with, DLCs and whatnot. Well, this is the difference. First of all, as I've said, I think when these games came out, they were complete. I mean, you had a good experience. They didn't cut features out. Same thing happened with Europa Universalis 4, same thing happened with Crusader Kings 2, and same thing happens with City Skylines, which is, a game developed by Colossal Order and only published by Paradox. So hopefully they are going to use the same DLC model, and I think they will. But again, City Skylines right now, I did a review last week, so, check my review if you want to know more about the game. This game, right, it's not perfect, but it's great. I mean, we love this game. It's what SimCity in a way is supposed to be, but it's not. So City Skylines core, it's there. The game is really fun to play right now. But having this core game and thinking about the, Paradox DLC model, it's actually kind of amazing, because I know that in the next 6 months, probably I'm going to see a nice expansion that's going to improve the game a lot. And then, maybe in 1 year from now, we will have another expansion that's going to improve the game a lot. And this is something that I want. This is a game that I want, and it's a game that I'm enjoying right now. And this is a game that I want to see more, because I want to see more of the stuff that I like. Now, another great thing about this whole thing is that they support modding. If you go to Europa Universalis 4 and you click the community hub, you go here and you click on workshop, there are mods created by other people that are actually enhancing your own game. Same thing with Crusader Kings 2, you can actually install a mod that will, it's Game of Thrones mode. You can actually, additional dynasty shields. If I go to most subscribe, you see your personal castle. This is a mod that someone developed that's actually improving the game itself by adding, your own personal castle. They actually added events in game just by using the mod. And this is great. They are not limiting other people from creating content, because no, we are the company, we are creating the game, we need to be the one that are creating the content so we can make money. Nope, people actually have control, and a very good example is City Skylines. Again, go to the workshop, and this is a house created by some dude that was placed on the workshop, and you can subscribe to the item, and this house is going to be downloaded into the game, and this house is going to be in your game. Again, if you go to the workshop, there are intersections. People actually created intersection, and you can install those intersections into your game. Not only that, but maps. You don't have to wait for some DLC expansion where they are adding maps. No, like with Civilization 5, for example. Nope. You can just go here, install, and hey, look, map. You can actually play on this map. Now let me give you a more exact example. In this case, Europa Universalis 4, a game developed and published by Paradox Interactive. When this game came out, the core of the game was great, right? I played a lot with Valahia, and I played a lot with Portugal, because I like the whole exploration aspect of the game. I like this thing where, going to the unknown. The thing with the exploration aspect of the game was that we kind of know how the map is right now. We know where South America is, we know where North America is, so you weren't actually doing any kind of exploring. So the first DLC that was announced was called Conquest of Paradise. 15 euros, it's not really that much, and it actually came out 6 months later, so you had time to digest the core of the game. Now, what Conquest of Paradise did, one of the main features, was the ability to randomize the new world. So they actually created new random territories, so the Europe was the same, but when you were traveling to explore, the new world was randomized. And when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome, I want that. How cool is that? You know, the latest DLC is called El Dorado. They basically improved, they added new religion, they improved the core of the game, they improved the Central America and the South America, and hey, it's great. And that's the cool thing about it. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. If it's a part, if they are improving a part of the game that you're not really interested, you don't have to buy it. And I'm going to give you another example with Crusader Kings 2. I believe last year they added Rajas of India. They improved the whole map and they added India. Now, you might not want this. You might not want to play in India, so you don't have to buy this. This is great. This is your choice. They also have these small DLCs that don't really cost a lot. Of course, they cost a lot if you add them up, but hey, maybe you play a lot in England and you might want to buy the Celtic portraits just to improve your core experience. And now, one thing that you might say is why they don't release these things for free. Well, in order for you to produce content, you need to have people working on that content, and those people consume money, right? Now, in fairness, Paradox did release, for example, this DLC for Europa Universalis IV, that, you know, Woman in History. They added some woman characters, some new events, and that DLC was free. So Paradox does that. But again, even with these small DLCs, I mean, they add 3 more songs. There is a DLC. There are more DLCs that add more songs to the game. You know, making content actually costs money. So if you want content for the game that you love, sometimes you need to pay a little bit for it. So this is why this whole DLC is great. Expansions, aka DLCs, are coming much sooner. The core of the game is great, and the price of the core, you know, the core of the game, the price of the game is not full price. So you can pick the game up and you can enjoy it. Second, when DLCs are coming out, you can choose what you buy and you can choose what you don't buy. If there is a new DLC, that DLC is not going to require the past DLC in order for you to play, and this is another great thing. You can simply choose to buy the content that you want to play. So hopefully this video doesn't make me sound like a fanboy. I hate when people sound like fanboys, but this is actually a great system, and every time I hear about a new expansion for one of these games I like that, I actually get excited. And I only noticed this only after a couple of years, that hey, I'm actually excited when this expansion gets announced. I mean, for some other games, I'm kind of ignoring DLCs altogether because I know that they are having this crap system. So this is it. This is my impression of DLCs in general, even that I kind of didn't look at all the aspects because the core of the video was Paradox DLC model and why I think it's great, and then I tried to do some comparison with some other DLC models that are kind of following the old expansion system. So please tell me your opinion about DLCs in general and in this video also, because I'm curious to see what you think about, you know, my videos. And if you like the video, give me a like. If you dislike it, you know, dislike it, but please tell me why, because I do want to improve my videos. Go to GamerPET.com for a chance to win games. I'm doing weekly giveaways, and the secret phase for this week for an extra chance to win the the Heroes of the Storm Key is Hearthstone. Yeah, why not? The secret phase to win a Heroes of the Storm Key is Hearthstone. So, you know, that. So anyway, see you next week, guys. Bye.